Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths, these narcissists that are involved in your life, they knew how kind you was. They knew how loving you was. They knew how supportive you was. A lot of you helped them and, gave them food for their soul. You didn't realize at the time this was a narcissist you were dealing with in your life, and some of them were in a bad way, and you assisted them and supported them, and you helped them get back on top of their game. And the thing is they take this for granted. All of the help that you done, all the support you gave, all of the love you gave, they take this for granted because they're takers. They're very selfish. They're very selfish in nature, right? They're very selfish creatures, okay? And, they will treat you with abuse, disregard, however the relationships ended, discard, reverse discard, or you cut them off because they become too toxic. And whoever this is you are dealing with, whoever this narcissist was that you were dealing with in life, whether it was a romantic partner, friend, family member, colleague, or associate, ultimately they wanted to break you down. They saw your strength, they saw your resilience, and they took it upon themselves to want to try and destroy you. For some reason, they wanted to try and destroy this strength that you have. It's almost like they envied you having light. They are envious of your light. They are envious of your light. And they tried to break you down, but the fact of the matter is, right, like I said, however the relationship ended, either you were discarded, reverse discarded, or you were the one that cut them off because they become too toxic. Regardless of how it ended, this narcissist will end up breaking down in their own lives, right? One, because it's the path that God leads them on, or the universe leads them on. Another aspect you could look at it from is the karma. They build a heavy price on their heads, a heavy debt on their heads, of karma from the bad deeds that they do, and the ill actions and the ill intentions they have towards loving human beings like chosen ones and empaths, right? So the way that their life kind of works out doesn't really work out in the way they anticipated, and they'll I've heard somewhere that narcissists, they struggle in all aspects. They struggle in all aspects of life. They struggle in their own family lives. They struggle in their own work lives. They struggle in their own romantic settings. They struggle in all aspects of life. Like, there's a misunderstanding that somehow narcissists live this fruitful, bountiful life. Like, they don't. They're miserable as sin. They're miserable sacks of shit, right? And, they break down because the fact of the matter is this ungrateful nature that they had towards you, this ungrateful stance that they had towards you, right? Not paying you your dues, not giving you your props, right? This backfires on them because you was like an emotional pick-me-up throughout the relationship. You kept them on their A game by you being integrated in their life, right? And they didn't want to really deep the fact that you was the one that was keeping them afloat, that you was the one that was keeping them sane. You was the one keeping them sane, and all the while you was keeping them sane, you was keeping them from going over the edge. All they was trying to do was break you down and tear you down, and enough is enough. You can't have people like that around in your circle. Look, I've spoken to many victims of narcissistic abuse and survivors of narcissistic abuse, and the narcissists involved in their lives go deranged when they lose the empath and chosen one. They literally go deranged, crazy stuff I've heard, you know, from people, bizarre stuff. Narcissists have done the most bizarre things, you know, that I've heard has happened to victims of narcissistic abuse, right? And that's because they get so desperate. They honestly get so desperate, and it's actually quite sick that they even have the idea that they can somehow, you know, they'll attempt, you know, through bizarre, the hoovers that I've heard that some people have had, you know, sick, twisted hoovers that some people have gone through. And it's quite sad that they actually think that this is going to somehow work and be able to merge you back as one, you know. And they're honestly delusional. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. Take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. You know, they never forget the chosen one and the empath. You know, some people, I read a comment today that said, stop saying chosen one and empath because it's narcissistic, it's feeding the ego. Look, the reason why I say chosen one and empath, right, is because you have an anointing and a blessing on your life to have a pure soul. You're not going around thinking you're better than others in humankind. You're not going around thinking you're better or this or that. What it is you've encountered people that are clearly clearly, systematically, if that's the right word, they are clearly lower life forms. You are clearly a higher life form than these parasites that you've encountered in your life. You are clearly a higher life form. And that's why I call you chosen ones and empaths, because from my understanding, chosen ones and empaths are a tribe of people on earth. Same way you have the parasite narcissists, the sociopaths, the psychopaths, the toxic individuals. They're a tribe in their own, right? But you are from a tribe of people that have been scattered across the masses. And I will continue to address you as chosen ones and empaths, because there's many of you that are unawakened, or you might be confused of thinking, are you a chosen one? Are you not? You know, like, you may be confused, but if you're able to put yourself in another person's shoes, right? You don't wish harm upon another person. You don't wish pain upon another person, you know? I'm not saying you're perfect, you know? You make mistakes sometimes. You may do things wrong that hurt people's feelings or something of that nature. But you as a person will be able to ease their spirit, you know? You'll be able to ease their spirit and help them understand that you didn't mean to upset them. Like, you know, if you upset someone, it actually makes you feel bad, you know, because you feel, you go into their you know, viewpoints. You know, you basically empathize with them so much that you actually feel bad for them, like that you made them feel a certain way. That's an empath. That's a chosen one, you know. And what I'm saying to you is, these narcissists, right, they didn't think this through, you know. When they were trying to break you down, they didn't think it through. They weren't empathizing with you. They weren't feeling guilty. They weren't feeling remorseful at the time when they were doing this. But afterwards, they will start to have a self-absorbed regret, you know, knowing that they've missed their chance with the special chosen one that you are, knowing they've missed the opportunity to have you in their lives. Right, and this is what starts to break them down and destroy them, especially when they go off and you know, it's not always that they go off and have romantic relationships, right? And it's the romantic relationships. Anyone in their circle in lives, right? They've got flying monkeys around them. They've got people at work. They've got family members. You know, they're encountering people that are toxic as well. You know, whether it's in their own families, they're encountering people that are toxic. Whether it's in their own friendship circles, they're encountering people that are toxic. Whether it's in the workplace, they're encountering people that are toxic, right? And also in their romantic relationships, they're encountering people that are toxic. So all of it becomes very apparent to them that they've missed their blessing with you, you know, and this is what breaks them down, you know, and it's actually God or the universe working through karma, causing them grief, causing them upset, causing them pain. And that's why when I've spoken to victims of narcissistic abuse, when they've seen the narcissist, you know, after a prolonged period of time, the narcissist is you know, drained. Like they look worse. They look like they're in a bad condition, and that's because they're not getting they're not getting that. Sorry, they're not getting that potent supply that they once did. I've heard this countless times from victims of narcissistic abuse in sessions that I've ran with people, and you know, even in the comment section when I read through the comments, because I always try to read through the comments and respond to the comments when I can. You know, I see this is such a common theme that is mentioned, that they've witnessed the narcissist downfall. You know, narcissists, honestly, after encountering the chosen one, some of the times narcissists that are involved in your life were actually going through a collapse when they met you. So you may have met them and they were actually going through a collapse, which makes them start doing risky behavior, impulsive behavior, you know, chaotic behavior, and they're actually going through a collapse when you met them. But other times they actually enter this collapse after losing the chosen one and the empath, you know, and it's really they fall right off track. You know, they hit this narcissistic collapse. You know, you should look into the narcissistic collapse, because it really does explain, you know, whether you look on YouTube or you look on in books or you look on Google search, it really does explain some of the behaviors that you went through, that this person was actually losing it, you know. It gives you a better understanding, to say the least, you know. It gives you a better understanding of what you were dealing with, and a lot of the times them losing the empath and the chosen one can really put them into this narcissistic collapse, you know. Can really put them into this narcissistic collapse. So what you got to understand is they are breaking down. They are losing it, you know. Them losing the chosen one and the empath takes a heavy toll on them, you know. It takes a heavy toll on them. You know, I've seen this in countless people's testimonies, in people's lives. You know, they the regret, people always get confused when I mention regret. The regret comes because they're being selfish still, right? Same way they were selfish when they were disrespecting you and trying to break you down and they wasn't appreciating you. It's the same way they're selfish when they lose you, right? And it's a self-absorbed, selfish regret that they feel like they're lacking having you. They feel like they're missing out having you. So that's why they feel regret, you know. They feel regret for where life's ended them up, you know, for where life's placed them now without you. That's where the regret, the self-absorbed regret comes in. It's still from a selfish nature. It's not a healthy regret, like someone that does wrong and they feel bad, like I was mentioning earlier, like an empath. If they do something wrong to someone, they feel guilty or they feel remorseful, or they feel, you know, it's not the same type of regret that a narcissist feels. The regret that they feel is because their life is fucked up now. Their life has gone to shit, right? And that's what drags them down, you know, and that's what pushes them into a collapse, you know. And you don't want to be around a narcissist when they're going for a collapse. They're going to have really impulsive behavior, really, you know, bizarre behavior, risky behavior, you know. They're going to be all over the place, you know. You don't want to be part of that kind of, you know, you don't want to be with them on their downfall, you know. You really don't want to be with them on their downfall. But fundamentally, they try to break you down and it bounces back on them. You know, they try to break you down and, you know, it ends up breaking them down, you know. It ends up coming back full circle on them. So all their effort, you know, all their effort and intentions to try and break you down and chip away at you and destroy you ends up coming back full circle on them and destroying them. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you need more help or assistance in your own personal matter, you can always book a one-to-one session with me. You see, we'll be able to shed light on your personal experience. We'll be able to thoroughly go in and dig deep and shed some light and bounce off each other and work out, you know, some kind of plan, and also, you know, best way of dealing with what you're dealing with. You know, so a one-to-one session could be for you if that's something of interest. You know, so you can always find out that with the link in the description box. There is also the monthly empath group meeting. We had our first one at the end of last month. It was very successful. It was a good meeting. You know, everyone gelled very well. Everyone opened up very well. You know, there is an empath WhatsApp group now being created, and a Telegram group now created. So the members, the empaths, the invitees of the first empath group meeting are staying in touch, you know, throughout the day. So if that's something of interest to you, you can always find the link in the description box and book the next upcoming empath group meeting if you want to be part of that. And I do understand that many of you are maybe not comfortable with doing video call in the session or a video call in the empath group meeting. You can always reach out for a one-to-one consultation with me with the link in the description box. Just click on crisis email support and you can have an email consultation with myself, and we can work out an action plan for your current situation. And if you would like to know more about You're the Prize, No Supplier Will Ever Come Close, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.